The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Hello, here I am. It's Nikki Glaser. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast, coming at you live from Dublin, Ireland. I'm in a hotel room with my mom. Brian Frangi's here, not in the hotel room. He's back in California.
Top
What's
of
up,
the morning
Brian?
to you.
Thank you. It's morning where you are. It is it's early
it's
evening
dinner.
for us. Early evening. I
It's early.
always sounded
It's early evening.
Irish. I'm finally picking up the accent.
And then we're leaving.
But the sun doesn't set here until 10 o'clock. So like it feels weird to
Yeah.
get dinner before. We got dinner last night at 9. Dad's usually like has to eat at 6:30 or he turns into a werewolf or something.
Right.
But we've been eating later. It's really fascinating.
10
But last
o'clock?
night,
That's so
10
late.
o'clock, dude.
so late.
It was really fun because we went to Era's tour the other night, and I'm used to seeing most of the show in the dark because that's how it is in the States. Like, no, I can't believe I saw Reputation Era in the dead of daylight. It was pretty cool. I saw most of the show. It was only an hour of the show was at night. And even then, it was like mostly twilight. So that was pretty cool.
And the cool
I don't even
thing is-
understand that.
well, you're so far
we're
north.
so north. We're north.
We're so
Oh, it's
far
north.
north.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're on the same latitude as like Canada, like upper Canada.
And I can testify
Wow.
that the sun comes up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
The sun does come up super early, so
So
we're
early.
getting so much sun here. I saw the sun coming through at 4.
Maybe it was 4.
Yeah, because we couldn't sleep last night. My family, we went. Me and my mom and dad went out to eat Indian. It was so good, but we all couldn't sleep afterwards, and we're
It was
wondering if it
because-
was a spice.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't, 'cause we all got
We had
different
coffee
things.
like at 5 or 6 o'clock.
It could have been that spice. Yeah,
No.
we all did a drug called
I had
spice.
turmeric
I
last
think.
night, and I had trouble sleeping.
Really?
Yeah,
Because
turmeric,
that's-
it'll fuck you up.
Oh, you know what? It could have been the turmeric.
I don't know.
There's
about
all
that.
kinds of turmeric in Indian food, I'm sure.
It wasn't the food. It was my I was like having a depression attack. I woke up at 3 a.m. and I had what I want to coin right now because everyone has anxiety attacks and that's just like what everyone gets and everyone kind of knows what that is and it's like the worst thing in the world. And I'm not. My tone sounds like I'm diminishing it. I'm just saying like why aren't there depression attacks? Because I don't get anxiety attacks. I get depression attacks where it's like I can't breathe because I hate myself so much, or like where I have self-esteem. Like it's a depression attack for sure. And I think there needs to be that word for it. I think we need to call them depression attacks because there's no other people with anxiety attacks get empathy when they're going through an anxiety attack. People understand what that is. But when people with depression have depression, sometimes mine only comes on for a couple hours and it's really, really bad. And there's no real word for it.
The
but now,
one term that I've heard is depressive episode, which makes you sound like a loser.
it sounds like a
maybe it's
climate
appropriate.
problem. It sounds like there's a
I think that's a good.
sounds like something a barometric pressure is happening through your body. It could be that.
It could be that.
But yeah, you're right. A depressive episode is, but to me, that sounds like something that could last months, which I'm sure they can. But for mine,
Yeah.
are like, they're like, they're a spell. They just come through until I take a bunch of anti-anxiety medicines. Because I always forget that when I'm having one of these episodes that, I mean, I guess it is anxiety in its own way, that I have like tablets that I can take that dissolve on my tongue and make me feel less anxious. But I never think I'm always happy about that because I feel like they're the type of drug that you could be addicted to. And I literally forget that I have them. And that always makes me feel good because I feel like I'm such an addict.
Darn.
Well, so due to technical difficulties, Brian cannot join us for the rest of this podcast because the delay is too long. And I just had to explain to my mom why that's a problem. So from here on out, that podcast is just going to be me and my mom. And I hope that's okay. Sorry, Brian. We love you. And we enjoyed your quippage.
I missed
15
him
seconds late.
already.
I do too. It makes
really
it
do.
more fun, but
No,
it's just
he's
like at this
great.
point you just go, okay, let's just, do people want to listen to a delayed
Oh, God.
stop and start conversation?
Don't want to hear
Technology.
that. Don't want to hear that.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi I thought was stronger at this hotel, but it's not.
Let's get back to the fact that you
Yeah, get
had
us back on
this-
track.
The episode, and I'm telling
Oh, a
you,
depressive episode?
Yeah, but let me just say something. First of all, you're in a 6-hour time difference.
Okay.
And we just got here yesterday.
2 days ago.
Sunday, Monday.
It's Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday.
Yeah, we got it
my
on
God.
Sunday morning, and it's Tuesday.
That's
night.
different.
I know. I should be caught up by now, but I wasn't.
No,
but I just woke up at
your
3
dad
and
and
I
I stayed up. We couldn't get to sleep last
Yeah.
night. So I think it was something.
Were you in bed hating your face though, and
Yeah, I
crying
hate everything about. I was mad as hell.
about what?
I was hating your face. And
about your.
no,
My face kept you up too.
it just kept me up. I was like, oh God.
No, I
Nikki.
wrote this whole diatribe on girls chat that was like,
Oh my gosh.
because I like to cyberbully myself. Like I like to just write like the
Oh.
meanest things about myself. It just helps me for some
Does
reason.
it?
And I
That
pull
doesn't
up,
sound
I
helpful.
pull up pictures of Marjorie Taylor Greene and I circle spots on her face that match my face because I kind of like to make it irrefutable that my friends can tell me I'm pretty when I send them a picture.
That's really.
I like literally make a case like a lawyer would make a case. Like I go, Exhibit A, look at the laxity of my cheek. There is definitely a
Please.
dimple there. How is this okay?
Why would you take her
I don't-
as a sample?
Because I kind of look like her in
Oh,
one picture.
no,
in a
please.
lot of pictures, Mom.
She's my most detested person
I know.
right now.
We have different insides. Like our souls are different, but she definitely kind of resembles me.
No, I don't think
If
so at
I
all.
went
Oh my
the
God.
wrong way in a med spa. If I took some bad direction.
Well, I could look
Or
like
not
her
even bad direction, just like trusted people that shouldn't be trusted. Because you just get things injected in your face and you go, I'm going to trust that this is the right thing. And generally they do. And sometimes they're trying to do good work, but sometimes you get like you know how like sometimes people are bad artists, like they still have a gallery, but you go, that's the fucking ugliest painting I've ever seen in my life.
Sure.
Those people are still artists. So there are people out there that are injecting people's faces that do study bone structure and they know perfectly. Some of them are Rembrandts, and then some of them are Thomas Kincaids, and that it's fine. And then which is Thomas Kincaid's good in his own way. And then some are
another.
like, your niece who's like, look at this picture of us, and it looks like a bunch of blobs or whatever. You know what I mean? But I guess she doesn't have a storefront. That kind of refutes my point. But there are shitty artists in every field. Like I always just think that, if you go to get an operation, like or something, not even like let's talk cosmetic, but like you get your heart done or whatever, that every doctor follows the same fucking recipe, right? Like you'd think it would be the same, but they're not all the same.
They all
And
have
of
different
course they're
techniques.
not. Like this just occurred to me
Yeah.
and that's what they call getting a second opinion. And
Right. You should get a second opinion
I just
on your
always trust everyone about
your
every.
feelings.
What do you mean?
Well, that's ridiculous.
Well,
that-
I do get second opinions, but I don't really trust people who are my friends who are trying to make me feel better. I'd rather trust someone who's like one time my friend was like, yeah, you've gained weight. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. And that didn't make me feel better either. So I don't really know what I want.
Exactly. What is it you want, Nikki?
I don't know. I
Just
think
stop. Honestly, you got to
I
quit
wish
picking on yourself.
Do you think I wanted to be doing that at 3 a.m?
You got to. Here's the thing you got to do. You got to wake up every day and say 10 things that you like about yourself.
I know that is the cure, but you got
I just
to
read
wake up
that in
and
the New York
do
Times.
3 squats. I mean, like, why don't we do things that
Yeah,
are good for
I
us?
haven't
It's
done
just
that
hard to
ever.
do. Yeah, but it's like easy
Yeah.
as saying 10 nice things about yourself.
I know, but you've got an issue if you really are like.
Oh
beating
yeah,
yourself up like that.
but I did better than I usually do because I wrote out this whole diatribe, like picking myself apart and like actually like arguing with my friends who were already not even arguing back at me. I was like already
You were-
anticipating what they were going to say and
Gotcha.
go, and don't say this because then I'll say this, and I know you're going to think this. And then I was about to send it, and then instead I just cut and pasted it in my notes, and then I wrote something else in girls chat
that's
that was like
good.
I said I wrote out one of my usual diatribes, but I didn't post it here. Instead, I'm just gonna listen to a meditation about liking yourself.
Good.
And I didn't do that, but I did listen to a soothing podcast because I went on Reddit and it was like, what someone had asked on Reddit, what's a podcast when you can't sleep? And someone recommended this guy with an Irish accent to piano music that has a soft Irish accent, and he's autistic and he just talks about things he's interested in. And it's called the Blind Boy Podcast. And why am I talking like that? The Blind Boy Podcast. But maybe because he was talking like that.
Sucked into this
I'm
whole
sucked in.
Irish
But the Blind Boy podcast was soothing. And he talked about a museum in Dublin that I was like, oh, we'll go see that today. But then he revealed it like burned down. But he was like, whenever I'm in Dublin, I always go to see the crypts of the Viking crypts. And I was like, oh, this Viking crypt, Dad's going to love this. And by the end of the podcast, I was like, oh, it just burnt down in like last week.
Really?
Yeah.
Like really?
Yeah,
Recently?
truly. Mhm.
Oh, I would have gone to that too.
I know, it sounded cool.
Real
But
cool.
we've been sleeping like we were in crypts.
Yeah.
We slept till noon yesterday, which is like unheard of for my family.
Yeah.
We've just been eating, going to coffee. We tried to go do something touristy today. Well, you went to the Guinness tour
Did the Guinness tour this morning.
of the Guinness factory.
Correct.
Did Dad get to drink Guinness
Yeah, we both did.
and like a whole beer? Or
They give you a little sample, and then you go, and they give you a free ticket to go up on the top floor, which is a view
Of the whole
360
city?
of the whole city, which is we weren't even going to go. We were so tired. We're like going, let's just go. We don't even know what's
then
up.
you did it.
We didn't know what was up there. And we
Yeah.
ended up going, because there are like 10 different levels.
Yeah.
And by the 9th level, you're going, let's go.
I don't
and
care
then I
about
said,
barley anymore.
and there was an elevator. And I said, well, we could just take the elevator and see what's
This
up
is how
there.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, how people got in trouble.
Really?
They start exploring and they go, what does that elevator go to?
Oh, yeah. Well,
And
we
he goes,
went up.
You went off the beaten path.
We went up and we went, whoa, it's gorgeous. It was beautiful.
That's always nice when you like do the one extra thing because you're like, oh, we're tired, but let's just do it and see
Yeah.
what happens. And then it ends up being the best thing.
Yeah. And we met some people from Cincinnati.
Like last night, I waited too long to find a place to eat. And then by the time we got there, they were closing in 15 minutes. So they wouldn't let us in. And so no restaurants were open. And we were just like walking aimlessly, like kind of bickering.
And not
And then-
a very nice neighborhood, really.
Yeah, you guys said it looked rough, and I didn't think so.
Yeah.
But it was on Camden Street, if you're familiar with Dublin, and I guess it was just no one on the street. Like it looked like they could
Yeah.
film like some kind of post-apocalyptic film.
Right. It was
It was
kind of deserted.
yeah.
And we figured there's no more
But
restaurants.
then we found an Indian restaurant, and they were so nice. It was called Diwali, and it was so delicious.
Yeah.
I'm like still thinking about it.
I know.
And I'm not usually a huge fan of Indian
I
cuisine.
love
but
Indian
it's-
food, but
I know. It's usually just makes me feel, it's like sits in my stomach. Not in the way that everyone's like, you get diarrhea because you ate Indian food. Like it just
yeah.
feels like heavy.
Yeah.
But man, it was delicious.
So good.
I'm into it now and I think I'm hooked.
Oh, I'm so glad.
But do you know that David Foster Wallace was a famous author and he committed
From Ireland?
suicide because he had like massive depression. And he was on meds that stabilized him for many, many years and was like the only thing that worked for him.
First of all, who is this person?
He wrote Infinite Jest.
Is he
wrote,
Irish?
No, he has
Oh.
nothing to do with that. But
Okay.
I'm getting to something.
Oh,
So
got it. Okay.
He was like in the 90s, huge like literary genius. People were, his stuff is really dense and philosophical and beautiful, and I haven't read any of it truly. I think I read the one thing about a fish or something that's like a graduation book that someone I think Ari Finling bought me that. I don't know, but I've read that and I've read like parts of things. I've read about him more. Anyway, there's a movie about him starring Jason Segel as well. But
Okay.
it's David Foster Wallace, and he kills himself in the end because his meds were working and then they stopped working because he ate, drumroll,
Turmeric?
Indian food, and there was some kind of spice that made his SSRIs completely stop working. So
I'm telling
watch out,
you.
everyone.
No. I think turmeric
I'm serious.
might be something,
Maybe Brian's onto something.
or curry.
Anyway,
Either one of those.
my
were in our
episode
dinners.
is gone today. I had some like sometimes you have caffeine. I just was like, I knew it was stupid. I reached out to Chris. I reached out to my friends at home because they're it was like midnight where they were. And so they were all kind of going to bed, and they all made me feel better. But like I felt bad for people who have no one to reach out to because I was kind of spiraling. You guys were just on the hall. I didn't know you were awake still. I could have
She
gone
should
hang
have
with you.
come down and hung with us because we were both going.
You were wide awake
Are
at
you
3.
awake? I'm still awake.
What the fuck, man?
I know it was bad,
Yeah. Well, anyway, we're just all
but actually, I
Jumbled
feel
up around
pretty
here.
darn good.
Well, Dad said he could not get Taylor Swift songs out of his head. They were, he said songs he didn't even know he knew were just rolling through his head.
Maybe it's getting to him.
Yeah, like a DJ was in there playing. It's getting in there.
Good.
So Dad went to his first Eras show.
Yeah.
And I think he wasn't even like, I've invited him before and he's like, I don't need to go. Like he literally was like, I don't want to go.
Who would pass that up?
I know.
Exactly.
But I knew that if he went, he would be
He's a
indoctrinated.
musician.
That's the thing. I don't understand. Like, he'll go to shows and he just stands. He doesn't bop his head or anything. And I'm like, but you're a musician. Don't you do some kind of rhythmic movement?
He wasn't
with your body?
really moving too
He
much.
doesn't move at concerts.
Yeah.
We went to his favorite band, Wilco, playing Impossible Germany. Dun, 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 dun,
Oh,
dun,
he
dun,
moves for that
dun, 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 bum, bum. That might not be Impossible Germany, but you know the song if you're a Wilco fan. And my dad is just staring. And he's not
He's taking it in.
He doesn't have Asperger's like that. I'm not.
We
I'm
don't
not.
know.
No shots fired. But he doesn't have like a thing where he doesn't take in music. It's like it was very strange. And so I thought the Swiftie. He was just marveling at how everyone knows all of her lyrics, and I go. I've been standing right in front of you. I'm the girl that's been standing right in front of you the whole time. I felt like a Taylor Swift song.
That
of
sounds like a Taylor Swift song.
You now you see us. I've been a Swiftie, and he's like, it's just so cool that she touches people so deeply. And I'm like, what about me that's been touched by her so deeply? I'm not actually mad about it, but like,
No.
I think people dismiss
When he
my
sees
obsession.
it in unison with the
I get
whole
it.
55,000 people, everyone knows every word.
I
but
guess I just
he
want
and
a little credit that like maybe I'm on to something.
No, Nikki, I've got to give it to you. You were on to Taylor way
I got on late
before.
too, but I got on late. I'm not even like an
I don't
early
know.
one, but I'm just saying, like, I've said it before. It feels good to be right about her because I was
So right about
the
her.
level she is at now is 10 or 20 times
She's
what I was when
the
she got it, and I got on late. Everyone, I'm
biggest
aware.
star in the world.
And as a now
Right now.
40-year-old woman, I feel sometimes like foolish for loving her so much, and then I'm like, no, I'm not. Like,
I like her too.
this is a drug lots of people
I'm not.
like.
I'm not. Your
She
obsession.
puts narcotics into all of her songs, and that's why we're still singing along. That's why it's haunting you at night, Dad.
Yeah.
She puts
Listen
narcotics
up.
into her songs.
was so fun.
What number was that for you?
That was number 4.
That was number 4.
Number 4.
That is a lot.
Oh God, I don't know anyone besides you that has gone to this many shows.
I've heard some. I was on a Taylor Swift subreddit the other day, and people were like, "Can we talk about people going multiple times?" And I was like, "Let's read what they're saying." And they were like, "It's not cool." And then some people were like, "Let's
Baloney.
blame the ticket resellers. Let's blame Ticketmaster for letting these StubHub bots come in and swipe up tickets. That's what's driving the ticket price up. Not like, and yes, the lines are long and."
Right.
But I don't know what to tell people. Like, am I not supposed to go because
I mean,
I
you're not.
work
You're
hard
not.
and
You're
I
not
don't-
getting them for free.
I don't know. I'm not. And I don't, but they're saying even people paying for them shouldn't go multiple times. And I'm like, should I pay for other people to go? And like, and I asked for
Well,
these
you
tickets
do.
pretty late. And
You actually do pay for other people to go.
I do, that is true.
You're paying for me many times
And
and other friends.
I
of
think
yours.
they want some sort of sponsorship or something that there should be a fund for Swifties who can't go.
Listen, do you think if people in these big arenas here that have season tickets to these football games, they go every game, and there aren't tickets left; they're all sold out and stuff. But
Yeah, there's
why
something about us going, and I get it. Like, even I'm starting to go, do I need to see it this many times? And yeah, I do. I love it so much, and it brings me joy. And I spread that joy throughout the world, and it really is worth it.
You
for
do.
the world.
You do
for
spread
me to
this.
keep going. We got to go to break. We'll talk more about the show and
Okay.
just being in Dublin after that. But I was kidding when I said I spread joy because I go to
No,
these shows.
you do
but
spread
it does
joy.
put me in a better mood. And then when I'm in a good mood, I give. I do.
Yeah,
I'm just a more generous person. I bought you some Nikes today.
Yeah,
and that's doing good for the
I
world.
can't even believe
And I'm
it.
going to donate to some kind of charity that helps little kids who make Nikes.
Yeah, there you go, right there.
A part of that Nike sale went to that person who's that
ever-
child that made that Nike.
Yeah,
At least
keeping them in a
one
job.
1800th of a cent went to that child. I
So
feel better
generous
now
of you.
just even thinking about that, and just like knowing that I made a difference. All right, we'll be back after this. All right. So you have 4 more shows to go with me.
Whoa, I can't.
Can you do
believe
it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel so. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm more excited. It's so exciting to just be around all these people that are so happy.
Yeah.
And so it's just more fun.
It's like the Super Bowl. Like it felt like that kind of energy when it like you rarely go to an event where everyone's just like like happy. Like even going to see normal concerts, people can sometimes walk around with like not a smile on their face, or a baseball game. Like people are just like, yeah, it's a baseball game, but everyone there's like like it's
Taylor Swift fans. They love her and they love being amongst other Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
That's the other thing. They really want to be right next to that other person and sing to them, or or like.
Yeah, I found the crowds in Dublin to be really like a lot
so
more interactive with
cute.
each other, because I've been to now, this is my 13th show, and in the States, I would say every show I've been to, you don't really connect with your neighbors as much as I would want to.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to like, let's all sing together, and I'm trying to like make conversation with the girls next to me of like, oh my God, I hope we get this song, and can you believe we got that one? And did you hear we finally got a girl that did that with me this time around, because she was like, Travis is here, because she was like keeping me updated of things that people were seeing.
Oh.
Because we were behind the tent. We couldn't see when Travis got there.
Oh, right.
Stevie Nicks is here. And then she was like, and then she said, we were speculating about whether or not she was going to, and she goes, we're going to get, Karma is the guy on the Chiefs, which, Taylor usually says, Karma is the guy on the screen coming straight home to me. But when Travis is there, she goes, Karma is the guy on the Chiefs. And we just like lose our minds because it's just so very exciting.
I'm learning all this.
Yeah.
Through you.
Yeah.
But no, it's really a camaraderie with everyone.
And then afterwards, there's just like a mass exodus of all these people who just
Everybody's
had the time of
so
their life.
happy and walking home in their
Dad
glittery
cried.
dresses. And Dad cried.
He cried when
He got teared up.
after Champagne Problems, every town that she goes to kind of uses that space to just cheer for like the longest that they can go. Mm-hmm. And every town tries to like beat each other.
Oh,
or
is
like,
that what they're doing?
not really beat each other, but they just try to give, that's when they just are like, let's go as long as we can to give all the love that we have.
Got it. Yeah.
And it takes like sometimes like 5 or 10 minutes of just like, and then she takes out her earpiece to like be like, oh, and like hear it naturally. And she reacts, and it's really adorable. And I felt like Dublin really brought it night 3 in terms of that. She was like, you could tell she was like, oh my God. She does have control over those moments. Like the second she grabs the microphone, everyone's like, oh, what'd you say? Well, shut up.
And you can hear a pin drop.
But if she didn't grab the mic, that would have gone on for 2 hours. Like people would just cheer for that long. I mean,
I love how she has such control. She could stop the whole.
she's a mastermind.
But the whole audience can just be quiet.
Yeah.
And you're like going, wow, how do you get 55,000 people quiet?
Nuts. Yeah, it was
She's amazing.
something else. Something else.
I'm so lucky to be part of this. That's all I know.
But I'll say, we want to just talk about there's breaking news. My parents are making headlines from a post that I made on my story of my mom watching Julia Roberts greeting Travis Kelce at the Eras concert. And so like all these publications picked it up.
Yeah.
And some of the headlines are this is Us Weekly. Nikki's parents weigh in on Julia Roberts and Travis Kelce. Page 6. Nikki Glaser's parents hilariously react to gross, quote, Julia Roberts rubbing on, quote, Travis Kelce at Era Tour.
Whoops.
Nikki Glaser's parents hilarious react to yeah. And then where's the other one? It's so good. Nikki Glaser's parents hilarious react to gross Julia Roberts. Isn't it a little much? The comedian asked her mom and dad, joking that the leave the world behind actress just wants to get in there. And then you said gross.
I said gross,
which wasn't the nicest
well,
thing.
no, I didn't mean. I think they quoted me as saying she's so gross.
You did say that.
I didn't mean to say it like that.
Yeah,
but
I know. We don't know how we talk.
I don't. Yeah, it was
until we
jumped.
see it. Yeah,
and then I went, oh, I said she's gross. I meant it's
the act.
Gross. The act was gross.
Not she. I mean, obviously she's a stunning woman. There's nothing gross about her.
She's not gross.
So, it sounds like you're taking back your apology.
No,
for saying gross.
I apologize saying she's gross. I'm just saying that act was really weird and gross is even a stupid word. So I'm gonna
gross
I'm gonna
is like shameful.
I'm gonna get that out of my vocabulary.
I know.
Julia, I am so sorry.
Yeah,
honestly.
we are sorry. I feel like I would be upset if I were.
Yeah, I'd be upset if somebody
her.
said I
If
was
someone
gross
said I was
too.
gross.
I
Yeah,
guess I
yeah.
am gross, and I don't want anyone to say it.
I know. I should have had you. I should have not posted that because I know that's not how you actually
Yeah,
feel. But
I
I didn't
don't-
think it would get picked up by the Page 6.
Oh my God,
The New Yorker just. Someone from the New Yorker wants to get a blurb from you.
you're
about
lying. You better be lying.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But I'd answer it.
But I did know that you would have something funny to say about it because I saw it and was like, I can't wait to hear my mom's take on this. So I knew,
But
I
I
did
was-
purposely film you because I thought you would be funny about it. And you were funny about it. That's why it's making the news because you are hilarious.
Oh,
But you know
well,
what's being hilarious is saying the truth is what's funny sometimes.
Well, I like I said, she's not gross. Her
No,
act was
clearly
gross.
she's stunning.
Yeah,
And her hair is perfect and clean and beautiful and blonde now. She's very
I don't even know.
unrecognizable.
I'm not even sure that was Julia
Yeah,
Roberts.
we actually we thought.
actually I didn't know it was her.
Yeah, that's why you said gross.
Yeah, I said, "Who's that girl?"
Who's this woman that's impersonating?
Yeah,
her?
that's gross
And
when somebody- that
but
girl-
if Julia Roberts, it's not gross. She can do
Yeah.
whatever she wants
Guess
to anyone,
what?
anytime.
That wasn't Julia Roberts.
Yeah,
that
and
girl
that's
is
why.
gross.
Whoever was acting that way, and there wasn't Julia Roberts can do whatever she
Whoever's
wants.
imitating Julia Roberts,
She can paw on whoever
she's
she
gross.
wants all the time because she's Julia Roberts.
Yeah, Julia Roberts is not.
You
gross.
should be happy
Her-
to have Julia Roberts scratch on your chest. Right? I'm trying to get
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
That is a thing that everyone wants all the time from her.
Everybody's like,
It's a
I wish
gift.
she would do like some tapping with her fingernails.
Listen, I have
On
to
my
say that
chest.
people probably aren't too upset when she's doing that to them. So I don't think that if she thinks that's an appropriate way to act, which maybe it is, and we don't freaking know. Who cares? We don't run in those kind of circles.
Yeah, who do we know? What
The
do we
chest
know?
scratching circles. So maybe that is how mega celebrities greet each other. I don't know. Who are we to speculate? Who are
could
we
be.
to judge it?
It could be the way those mega celebrities
And
talk to each other.
If you're fucking Julia
In
Roberts, who has ever not wanted you all up on them? Like you're Julia Roberts.
Or like getting in there,
Yeah, scratching in,
scratching in.
burrowing in.
Yeah.
It's time to hibernate for the winter.
Burrowing in.
Why wouldn't you want to try to get in
Who wouldn't
Travis Kelce's
want
chest
that?
cavity? Yes.
Oh, for God's
You
sake.
want in there.
Yeah.
So I think she did the right thing.
Yeah.
I'm turned around on this whole thing.
Well,
I mean, I've never really.
Well, that was an impersonator, so
oh, yeah, that's what we were grossed out by.
yeah,
We just
I
wanna
didn't
be
like
clear.
the whole idea of somebody impersonating her and going after Travis like that. Now, Travis might have liked
Now,
Julia
just,
Roberts.
totally separate note. Do you ever know like there's like women who like in a different time of their life they just got everyone just fawns over them so much that when they get to a point that maybe people aren't fawning as much, they still think the fawning is as intense. I've known women like I remember your friend getting kicked out of a show. I remember one of your friends getting kicked out of a show at the Funny Bone.
Yeah.
Remember she was heckling my friend Josh?
Yes.
And Josh Arnold goes, "Oh, this is classic." He goes, "Hot woman who's not hot anymore is just angry about not being hot and needs to get attention somehow
Right.
and isn't used to not being the center of attention. And now you're
Right.
aging and it's like frustrating for you. And when you get drunk, you start to feel your youth again, like when you
Yeah,
were, and you kind
sure.
of clamor for it. I know I will. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm already feeling it. That's what kept me up at 3 a.m. last night was like, oh my God, these like teen boys. That's not what I was thinking about, but I was like, I don't get looked at as like a sex object anymore. I don't feel as if I do. Not that I want to be, but I feel it like going away. I feel like being like, I'm a ma'am.
Well, I guess you don't read your.
I don't read my comments.
Yeah.
Do people still want to stick their penises in me?
Yeah, I think so.
Without my
It's hard for me
permission?
to read, but and that is
That's
gross.
what I want you
That
to
is
report back
gross.
to me.
Yeah, those are the things
I'll pay you to go through those and just heart them and say, hit me up. on my OnlyFans. Maybe you run my OnlyFans where I just post pictures of my feet.
Yeah.
I don't have any. You just sneak pictures of my feet.
What do you
I
want
don't
me
know
to
what's
tell
happening,
you?
but you just collect the money. You don't tell me anything. You start an OnlyFans for my feet. We hang out. You surreptitiously take pictures of my feet.
Okay.
You create this account.
Okay.
And then you'd make all the money. It's like when I give you my old
What?
clothes to sell on eBay and I go, just keep the money.
What?
You can use me, but if I don't know what's going on, then it won't be gross. Like if I knew that I was doing a foot only fans page, I would feel like people would be like, Nikki Glaser's doing a foot. But if I don't know what's going on and you're taking advantage
I'll
of me,
take,
like a Dina
random
Lohan.
pictures, like we're trying on shoes somewhere.
No, you got to get
I gotta
sneakier.
sneak
Like
'em.
I got to teach you how to take sneaky photos. But I think you could make so much money off of that.
Tell me what we could charge for something like that.
I mean, I don't know how OnlyFans
$10?
works, but you could put a paywall of like $100 a month, and you could promise like 10 foot pics a month, and I bet you could get people signing up for $100 in like one video.
And you're saying I can
And you'd
keep
be like,
this
Nikki,
money.
can you just like open this banana and peel it with your feet? You would just give me challenges. Like, I bet you can't peel this banana with your foot. And I'd be like, why are we talking about this? You go, hold on, let me just film it. Yeah.
Really? Money.
And then you could get $1,000 for that, because that's what they do. They write in, and then your people that pay for you, they write in, they request things. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So this is I'm just giving you
This is
ideas of
just
how
ideas,
to use
yeah.
my fame.
I need to start actually.
Yeah,
using it.
make some money off of me.
I feel like the whole thing that just blew up today.
I think you're gonna have your own. Like you
It's
could have your
scary.
own thing. You could have your own OnlyFans.
It's kind of scary.
It was kind of scary. We're sitting at lunch, and all of a sudden, my dad was like, "Hey, someone wrote us this morning about Nikki's parents going off
blowing
about Julia
up."
Roberts," and I was like, "Oh, I don't know what that would be." And then he showed me the link, and I was like, "Oh, this is like an actual news story." And he was like, "But it keeps connecting to some app you got to download." And I go, "Just type it in Google. Let's see what we get." And then it was like, like all these articles.
Oh,
That's Nikki
boy.
Glaser's parents.
Oh,
And
boy.
your still image of you watching it is so funny. You're so funny. Like I just have to point the camera
it
at you,
is
and
the
you're
worst
always funny.
picture I have ever.
It's hilarious,
It
though.
is gross.
Well, finally,
It really is. An
apropos
apropos.
use of the
yeah,
word.
it really is. It's like, oh God.
No, but that's the
that's
irony
the way I
of it,
look.
is that
I gotta
Julia
accept
Roberts
it.
can look at that and go, "Well, she's gross,"
Yeah,
or whatever.
it-
You
well,
know? And then
and-
everything's even.
It will be fair. Yeah, I hope
Right?
she sees it. And I,
I hope
she
so,
goes,
too.
Who is this gross girl? Who is this gross woman? She's so gross.
You just reminded me. You remind me so much of Jiminy Glick, and I know that's not nice.
It's
to
my favorite,
But it's
comedian.
Yeah, well, you don't look like Jiminy Glick, but the way you talk is like,
I
well,
do.
and I do think that, and it is gross.
Oh my God, I love him.
I'm obsessed. I made my parents watch like 5 videos back to back yesterday, just on my phone. Of
We
Jiminy
bought
Glick.
those DVDs.
I know
years
you
ago.
guys got me into him initially, and now I'm going back and watching old
I
things and bringing,
love him.
He's the funny. I'm reading Martin. By the way, I'm reading Martin Short's book, his autobiography, and I just bought it for my mom because I'm so obsessed. He's so funny, and his life is so interesting, and he is like a comedic hero of mine. And he was
Haven't you met him?
no, but Chris worked on Beauty and the Beast live with
Oh,
him.
that's right. He was on that.
And Chris, it was revealed when they were all working together that I was Chris's girlfriend, and both him and David Allen Greer were very enthusiastic and saying, "Marry her."
Oh God.
It was so cute.
Is this
So
okay?
we're gonna invite him. That's a good way to get Martin Short there.
Yeah,
He's
you started this, Martin.
Amazing though. I really, if you are looking for a laugh out loud autobiography of someone that has like had a fascinating life and it's really well written, I really recommend Martin Short's autobiography.
Well, I did. I was like, it didn't go through.
Nikki reads one book and can't shut up about it.
Yeah, I'm
One book a
excited about
year.
reading it. So
Yeah, it'll be good.
I'll have something to read on the plane tomorrow.
To Amsterdam. So now we're going to Amsterdam tomorrow, which I'm so excited for. I love Amsterdam. And
So cool.
go get some whores
Horse
and some
For
pot. We're going to Eras Tour 3 nights in a row in Amsterdam, and my friends are like, "What's your dad gonna do?" And I'm like,
red
light district.
Red light.
They'll just walk around,
Yeah,
browse.
He likes to walk around.
Yeah. Have you walked around there and seen the
course.
women like in the
Yes,
windows?
of course.
Yeah, rubbing their tits up against the glass, and
Yeah, I guess I've seen a little bit of that. But
it's really, I love it,
I'm telling you, those women are brave.
man. Really?
Yeah. Yes. Who would do that?
To them, it's not brave. I really relate to like people being like, what I do is brave, and I'm like, but to me, it's not scary, so it's not brave to me. It's like to you it would be because you would to us we would never get naked and stand in front of a window and solicit men.
I couldn't.
But for
do it.
them, it's not. They're not like.
I mean,
they don't get this. I don't think they're like, getting nervous beforehand and shaking and like.
They should, but they
maybe
don't.
the first time they did it, but I think at this point you can tell there's.
Yeah.
We went to a sex show, Chris and I, in last May when we were here doing shows. We went to a live sex show in Amsterdam, and it was two people. I've never seen people going through the motions more. It was like actually watching real sex because they seemed so bored. How much is it?
Yeah.
I think it was probably like
is that
$100
doggy
a
in the
ticket.
window?
It was like $100. It was like not cheap. We were like, I really wanted to go.
$100
and Chris
each?
was like shocked that I wanted to do something. Like I don't like going to museums or like boat tours, but I was like, I'll go to a live sex show. That's interesting to me. And it was really gross and it's kind of sad. And the two people doing it like just didn't seem to be wanting to do it. But they're getting into all this BDSM stuff. So he's tying like a belt around her neck, and then she's but she literally is rolling her eyes the entire time. And then he sucks on her tit, but it's just like a baby board sucking. Like it was just. I don't even know how he was hard. Like, I don't know how she was wet. Like, she probably wasn't. She looked like she was in her 50s, like, had done this thousands of times. Like, it was watching a off Branson show.
Wow.
Like, off the strip in Branson, in terms of, like, how much phoning it in was happening.
What'd Chris think?
We liked it. We were laughing because it was interesting. Oh, my God. There was this one part where she was, like, pulling a string out of her vagina, and it kept going on and on like a magician string.
Okay.
And then she like put it in this guy's mouth, and we were like, that was in her vagina. And like, no matter what, if it was in a spool or something, it still like was touching her vagina. And then she stuffs it in this guy's mouth, and we were like,
why?
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
And then she like would stuff her underwear.
That's probably enough.
I know you easily
Honestly,
get offended. I'm so sorry. She's still recovering from human centipede last week. I'm so sorry,
God,
everyone.
please, anyone who heard that and
I know. I apologize to my listeners. That was gross.
I'm still in shock about all of it.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
I just don't ever want to.
Yeah, let's not ever talk about it again.
Don't say those words again.
Okay.
And first of all, I called it a human caterpillar.
Yeah, that is true. My mom has since been talking about it, and my dad goes, "Your mom told me about that human caterpillar thing."
You'd never heard of it either.
See, that sounds better. Centipedes already gross me out. They're my least. We're not talking about it anymore. We're just talking about the centipede as a bug.
I want to say one thing.
Please.
You said you're like, oh, I heard about that when I was like in high school or middle.
No, it was like when I was 24.
Oh, I thought you said it was like high school. I was like, oh my God, you've had this whole image.
I went through way worse in high school.
Oh, Nikki, I honestly, I
would
was so sheltered, and I am so glad I was so sheltered. How you got away with that?
Speaking of centipede, around that same time in my life, because I remember where I was when I read about that movie. It was 2000, probably 10 or 11. It had to be then, because I was in bed in Astoria in this. Remember that disgusting apartment I lived in when I first moved to New York?
Oh,
in Queens, with that weird woman that
you've never said two words to?
No, and she would never leave her room ever. Oh. It was like a hoarder's room.
Well, that was a scary situation going on.
It was terrible, and I saw a house centipede in my bed one time there, and I wrote my friend Mike DeWolf, who lived in Manhattan. And I said, I cannot sleep, and I won't be able to sleep until I was losing my mind because I could not. It was crawled across my pillow, and I was like, I can't do this. So I slept on his pull-out couch on 62nd and Broadway for a whole week until I thought maybe that thing had moved on or died or something.
Oh my gosh!
And I had just it was just a bad time in my life, and but I just attached it to that centipede, and I like was sleeping on the other side of the bed. I would sleep at the foot of the bed, and I was just thrashing anything that like a breeze would hit my foot, because it was also so hot, and like I would just like scream. I was losing my mind.
Yeah, I that's when I thought, New York, we got to get you out of there.
But then I got the TV show. Thank God.
Thank God you got out of that apartment.
I know, it was so disgusting, and I moved in with Anya. That was the worst.
Yeah. But I did
place.
love that little restaurant. Right
Yeah,
around the corner.
Taverna Kikladés. That's on
That was the best.
36th Street.
That Greek
no,
food.
Astoria Boulevard. I'm sorry. Yeah, and 36th Ave.
Jeez.
I think. No,
Need
36th
to go
Street.
back there.
No, I never even want to go back in that
Yeah.
stop. Like, you've reached the last stop. Ditmars. Sorry if you're in Queens. Taverna Kikladés was the restaurant.
The
That was really
restaurant's
good.
great. Nikki's apartment was terrible.
Oh, but I was still drinking then. Like, it was not a good time in my life. And then
Well, you have cleaned everything up.
really just dusted it off. Everything's going great.
Everything's coming up roses.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Well, we are in Europe and going to Amsterdam and Zurich.
Which is the flower capital of the world.
I did not know that.
It really is.
Oh.
That's when you see all these beautiful flowers here in Ireland.
They're coming from there.
They're all from Amsterdam.
Oh, shit.
And Holland.
All right. Well, we'll check them out when we get there. I want to go see the Anne Frank house because we didn't
Yeah.
get in last time because there was a line. But you're saying that we can get in.
I've been there.
But I'm saying that Swifties are going to be all up in Amsterdam. It's going to be chaotic.
It's
and I'm
gonna
wondering
be
if we'll
what?
be able to get in.
Oh.
I think we should get tickets soon. We'll be right back after this. We're going to check out Anne Frank house tickets. And we're back. Still no word if we're gonna get into the Anne Frank house. I didn't check yet, but we're going to.
We're going to check that.
Yeah, I like how you guys get through trips. I think we're
How?
on the same page.
No, we are flowing pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, you guys went to the Guinness factory this morning when I was supposed to go, but I slept in.
Sorry about that. I didn't understand that.
No, that's okay. I was supposed to meet you at 9:30 for breakfast. I didn't show. They called my phone. My phone is on silent, so I will never ever hear it if you call it ever.
Understood now.
And then you gently knocked on my door, and that didn't work. And I understand, but at that point, I would have been like, maybe she's dead. And then
No,
I would have gone.
I
to
know
the
how
front.
you sleep.
Oh, all right. Well, you should go next time you go to the front desk. You call the hotel room phone.
Well, I will never. I honestly thought, well, I don't want to wake her. If she wants to sleep in, she probably had a rough night like we did.
That's true.
That was my problem. I was like, I've had 1 hour of sleep.
Oh my god.
And I was gonna. I thought I don't even want to go. I said to your dad, "Can you just go and I can stay in bed?" And he's like, "No, you have to go." And so we were down there waiting for you, and I'm like, God damn it, Nikki's not even here. I could be back in bed.
Sorry. I would have told you. Like
I know. I misunderstood.
if I don't show, I will owe it. If I don't show and I'm not telling you something that I didn't show, something's wrong.
Okay, but then we started getting worried because it was almost
It was 1 o'clock, and you were headed back from the brewery,
Yeah,
and
we
I
had
still
a
wasn't
bad
answering your
driver
text.
who drove around and around and around and got lost. And we're like, wait, well, you just passed our street.
And then they banged on my door, and then I woke up, and I was like, 1 o'clock? What the fuck? Because
Yeah.
I woke up at 1 o'clock last night in the morning, and I was like, how did I sleep this late? And I was like, oh, it's in the morning. I mean, my sleep is still effed up, and
no, we're 6 hours difference.
I do not like to admit that I have jet lag. I think it's a weakness. I think jet lag
I don't
is a
think
choice.
it is either. It's a real thing, sister. It really is.
I'm fucked from it still.
Oh, it's scary.
Well, now we got to go to Amsterdam, and then you guys just don't
We're
like
gonna
to
be
do
better.
that many things. Today we went to the Book of Kells Museum, and what a fucking waste of time that
Well,
was.
I thought Trinity College was cool.
But we could have just walked around that
We
campus
could
no
have,
matter what.
but
It
you
was a
couldn't
pretty
have gotten in the
campus.
long hall, which is
Yeah, the long hall was
gorgeous.
cool. There's like this library. It looked like a Harry Potter library, and it
Yeah,
had this like
it's 400 years old.
cool globe kind of art installation. But
It might even be older than that.
I just don't really care about reading plaques or
Wait,
big
it
signs.
did
of-
look like Harry Potter, but those old books all lined up. It was just so cool.
Yeah, I
and then they
guess.
had that big art installation of the big globe in there.
Yeah, I
which
thought the
was-
globe was cool.
was beautiful. But I think that college campus is just incredible.
Here's the thing. I realized this morning why I was frustrated that I missed the Guinness thing is because I just want to say that I did things, but I don't
No,
want to
you
do
said
them.
that, and I feel bad.
And I don't think that's a good way to live. I think that's what a lot of tourists do is like they don't really care about seeing stuff. They just want to say they did it.
Well, I thought we
like
should
birding.
miss it.
Like people who bird sometimes don't even like birds. They just like to do a puzzle. They're like looking for. They like to say they got one, and it's like for me. But I guess that's to each their own. If that's what
No, I think the reason I wanted to go to the Guinness because people were like, "When you have to go there," and I was like, "We got there," and I'm like, going,
What are they talking
Or
about?
why? Why did we have to? Why did we spend this to get over here and then rush in here and make sure we're on time? And then we get in here and all it is a bunch of lighting and fake stuff. It just is like tells you how they brew beer.
I think people are dumb. I really think
honestly,
people are stupid.
everybody was really enthralled, and I
Were
think
they?
I think it's $25 a person to get
Yeah.
in. I'm like, what is this? They used to make beer
I
here.
really think it's like people pay $25 so they have to convince themselves it's impressive to make themselves feel better. It's the same theory I have about people who have kids. They have to say it's amazing because they can't get out of it. Like you already paid $25, so you're going to convince yourself you like it.
No, I don't have to convince
But
myself.
we don't. I don't know why our family can admit when something sucks that we've paid a lot for. But I think most people, there's a psychological term for it. But like if you invest in something, you like it more. That's same with comedy shows or like audiences when you're taping a thing. If it's a paid audience, they aren't as good of an audience as an audience that just shows up on their own volition ever. That's free.
Wait a minute.
It's true. Paid audiences
They want you
notoriously are worse than
they're tough customers. Is that what you're saying?
the more if someone pays to go see a show, the more
Right.
someone pays, the more someone enjoys a show.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm thinking
Except
the opposite.
us. No, you would think that, but the psychology says it's like you have to
You're gonna like this.
You have to convince yourself you like it because you've spent money on it. And
Right.
so you like it more. You end up liking it. You end up liking it more because you're convincing yourself you like it more.
Which is okay.
Yeah. It's like the what's the psychological term we learned about? That's a debate tactic that
It's
Trump uses.
Hold on.
It's called like Gillen.
Yeah, again, it's called,
grifting.
Just
You said
give-
you wrote it down.
I did. I had to write it down because it's been bothering me since.
Debate tactic. Okay, here it is. It's called the Gish.
It's the Gish Gallop.
The Gish Gallop. It's a debate tactic that Trump used the other night, but if it's where you just say a bunch of you list a ton of lies on top of each other so that your opponent
It's frazzled, kind of like I'm trying to take it in.
Right, but the real thing is that so if I list a bunch of lies, you're going to have to dismantle each one of those lies.
Right.
With the amount of time that you have, you're never going to get to them all.
Correct.
Therefore, you will be missing some of them. So I'll get some lies through that you didn't disprove. And while you're trying to frantically disprove all those lines, you look crazy and
you're
unhinged.
befuddled, and
So it makes the person who's lying look like they're not lying and look more straightforward and, more level-headed, and it makes the other person look like a lunatic.
And you
because you're
can't even address
drowning
the
in
lies.
lies. Yeah.
You don't even address one lie.
So it's it's a tactic.
It's a tactic.
that he used. the other
Someone
night.
told him about that, and he's like, "I'm in."
Yeah, and he was
Yeah.
good at it.
He figured it, and he's not that smart. So I mean, someone said,
Mom, we're gonna lose so many listeners. I'm just kidding.
"I don't care."
Can you imagine if I cared about that? People are getting mad at the hook toi girl. Do you know that girl?
Nope.
Okay, there's a girl. She went viral because someone was doing like a interview on the street. Just some like random TikToker was asking people questions,
Okay.
coming out of bars and stuff. And this guy was like, "What's the best way to turn a guy on?" And she was like, "You got to give him that hook toi." And he goes, "What's that?" The hook toi. And he goes, "What's that?" And you go, hook toi. And you spit on that thing. And everyone's laughing because it's just funny.
Got it.
And apparently they found her because she was just some random girl, and they've hunted her down, and they did an interview where
Who's they?
the media.
Okay, and then
And someone did an interview with her where they were like, "Would you huck toi these guys?" And then it was Donald Trump, and she was like, "No, thanks." And everyone's like, "She doesn't like Trump," and it was just like, that's not what she said. She just said she didn't want to blow Trump. She could still vote for him, so chill out, everyone.
she probably thinks.
But I bet
gross.
Trumpies think if she doesn't want to blow him, she's not a patriot.
Oh yeah,
She must want to blow Biden then. It's like, no, she just doesn't want to blow a disgusting looking man.
Exactly. What's the twisted?
Oh God, I
process
can't
going
believe
on.
I'm going to be stoned in a town square for what I just said when by 2000. When do you think he'll
could
start
be in
having
jail.
public stonings?
You'd be in prison.
I think public stonings will probably start next summer.
Well,
He'll round up all the women whoever said they
it's-
wouldn't blow him, and then he'll
might be April.
Probably by April.
Yeah, 'cause it'll
gets
be
in by
for 3
January
months.
20th. Yeah,
Yeah.
take it just to organize a public stoning.
Well, they got to get the square, which square they want to do it in.
They got to round everyone up using their AI technology.
Rounding them up. Yeah, they got
That takes at least a month.
And I think they'll just round everybody up and then decide how they're going to do
And
it.
then the rounding up the rocks for the stoning.
That's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, talk about build that
What-
wall.
what
What are you
size
using the rocks for?
are-
The wall or the stoning? They'll have to start taking it from the wall, and then
Yeah.
people are going to be upset about that.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it'll be interesting to see. We're doing Jiminy Glick. Final thought.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We're there.
So my strapping boys, Morgan, Mason, Matthew, and Modine.
Jiminy
If you
Glick's
know, you know.
Boys.
This Martin Short book is making me laugh so hard and like making me and I could have turned to that last night when I was having my
You should have
depression attack.
baby up.
Yeah, but it made me cry so much. It felt so good because I don't cry a lot, you know.
Laughing, crying.
No, I was crying from sadness because there's some tragedy in it, and it's so
okay.
sweet, and
I
it's
think you
like,
told
oh
me
my god,
something.
it's such a like, it's just so sweet. I love it so much. But
He's a brilliant man.
can I just swift out a little bit? I'm sorry for everyone to
Yep.
hear this, but I did
What?
see Tortured Poets Department Eras Tour performance live for the first time ever, and
Yeah.
it was incredible and everything that I wanted it to be. And my favorite part, which is the bridge, you know, of
Yeah.
The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. I made you guys watch it at dinner the other night.
Yeah.
I was I was this conundrum in my heart because I was like, I want to film it because I want to watch it again, but I also want to be there present for it. So
You got some time.
I know I could do it again, but I just was like, it's a while before I see it. It's a couple nights before I see her again, and I just want to watch my footage of it. So I started filming it, and then I saw Dad like kind of get distracted with his phone, and I was like, Dad can't miss my favorite part of this where she gets
you were
shot.
Very concerned.
And
about
so I
that.
stopped filming, and I was like, Dad, watch. She's about to go to battle, and this is the coolest part of the show. Like, it's going to flash red, and she gets shot. And so I had to stop my filming to make sure he saw the good part. And so I kind of didn't get either. Because I was so obsessed with everyone else's experience of it,
enjoyment.
I didn't get to feel it.
Well,
as
listen,
much.
isn't it just as easy to copy someone else's that has really done a good job filming?
This is the problem that I've talked to about on the show is that, and I will say, I got told that my footage that I posted on my story of the Eras Tour is some of the best footage that anyone's seen from crowd shots. And I am so appreciative
are
of that
good.
compliment because I have had a real problem with Swifties filming and not getting good angles and like zooming in on the screen, then going back to her. And it's like, pick the screen or her. And also you got to use the techniques that you know to like make the lighting better. And I understand it's hard because there's people around you, but I really do pride myself on getting the best
Okay,
footage of her.
yeah,
And so
yeah.
there is a part of me that it's up to me to get the best version of this march that I love so much.
Right.
I need to do that for me because
Okay.
it's not going to be released. I don't know if they're filming it or going to release it officially.
Okay.
But
Well, you
we didn't
have-
have the best angle. So
got-
I'm hoping that
Oh, I hope
I don't
you have
have
a
the
good-
tickets for Amsterdam yet, so I don't know where we're sitting, but I'm hoping we get a better angle.
I hope you have tickets.
I hope I do too. If I don't,
boy.
I will.
We'll stand outside the stadium.
I'll red light district it up. I will sell my body
You're
tickets.
brave. You are so brave.
because I'm brave.
That's a brave daughter.
What do you want to do for dinner tonight? Wasn't that lunch delicious?
Let's find a Greek restaurant.
I think I just got into sweet potatoes, and I know I'm late to the game,
Oh,
but like
God,
they
that
were
today?
so mushy. Like I
Today?
liked, yes.
Oh, those were
because
so
they
good.
were cubed, but they were like soft.
Yeah.
and I don't like when I don't want them to be al dente or even like slightly to the.
You
bite.
want them mushed.
I want them mush, but I want them still on the skin.
Right.
So that's that's hard to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And if I
practice that.
know anything about mushy vegetables, I know you know how to make them.
Thanks.
No one
Wait.
knows how to make a mushroom mushy.
We had peas that were called
Mushy peas. That's
Mushy
another
peas.
delicate. We went to a British restaurant yesterday and
Delicious.
we saw mushy peas on the menu and we were like, oh my God, that is the funniest thing because in America, mushy peas would be like, what the fuck?
people
Ew.
would go, is that baby food?
It looked like guacamole. That's what we thought it was. And then my dad goes, "This is the mushy peas," and I scarf that down. It
They
was
were-
delicious.
I think they had garlic in them, and that's
Of course, but they
Yeah.
were so
Yeah,
good.
they were so good.
Oh, they were so good.
everything's so good. We are treated like kings and queens over
I know
here.
we're been eating so well.
So
I'm
nice.
So excited.
We are so lucky. That's
We
all I
are.
know.
We
Thank
are
you,
lucky.
Nikki, so much.
You're so welcome. Well, thank you for joining me for the podcast today.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
Brian, that we lost you.
Yeah, Brian.
He'll be back in probably 2 weeks. We'll probably do the next one alone too because I have one more to do for
Oh,
next week.
okay,
Because we
gotcha.
pre-recorded one with Brian, but then I'll probably have another one to do
Gotcha.
alone. And Dad's going to join, I think, on that one.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that. It's Nikki Glaser Podcast live from Europe at Eras Tour. Thank you guys for listening. I love you guys so much, besties. I've met some of you here in Dublin, actually.
Nikki, you're getting recognized left and right here.
It's really happening a lot more than I would think it would.
It's incredible.
It's so nice, and everyone
So
is
fun.
so nice. Everyone's just
Oh.
like very casual too.
Very
it's not
casual
like
and not in your face. They're going, Nikki, I love you. It's like, what?
just a quick drive by. Nikki, I love you. Like so good.
Yeah, no, a girl on a bike. It was dark after the show, I think.
Yeah.
And we were on a dark and lonely street, and this girl comes right, cute girl on her bicycle.
And she stopped at the same cross light we
were-
are.
We were at the stop sign and walking past, and she goes, Nikki Glaser? In her Irish twang.
Nikki Glaser.
Nikki Glaser.
Yeah, and I go, yeah, and she was like, "Oh my god!" And she's like, "What are you here for? Do you have a show?" And I go, "I just went to Taylor Swift." She goes, "I did too." And because we were walking home from Taylor Swift, she was so nice. So shout out to all the besties and fans that I've seen
cute.
here. It makes me feel so good. I did not expect that at all, but it's happening. It's really happening. All right, and our apologies to Julia Roberts. You're not
Yes.
gross. We are.
Yeah.
we love you.
That's our new theme.
Pretty Woman, Notting
gross.
Hill.
Not you.
My best friend's wedding. The not Charlie Rose. She's in some. The Charlie.
Wasn't she in that Leonardo, the Wall Street kind of the
Ocean's
scam?
11?
Ocean's 11.
Yeah, I don't even think he was in that, and she
Oh,
might
no,
have
no,
been.
no.
And I think she was. Maybe.
She's in
it doesn't
that.
matter. Ocean's 11. Thank you guys. Watch Ocean's 11. Check it out. Now
Rewatch it,
on
please.
Blu-ray. Now available. All right, we'll see you next time on the podcast. Do not be care and bye.